Do you have songs that you'd like to learn how to play on the piano? My name is Kelsey Cate, and in this video, I'm going to help you do just that. Stay tuned. If we're just meeting, my name is Kelsey Cate, and I'm a professional pianist in the Seattle area. I've had some incredible opportunities to play in some neat places in Seattle, including the Space Needle, Benaroya Hall, the Bellevue Collection, and in some of those places I have played some favorite songs that I love, and today I thought it'd be fun to share with you some ways that you can start playing your favorite songs on the piano. On this channel, I will be sharing some practical tips with you of how to get the music that you're hearing, the music that you want to play out onto the piano. In part one of this series, which you can see right here if you missed it, I was sharing with you about how to learn to play the melody and sing that, and that's the first step. Now today we're going to put the framework of this house together. We're not going to put in any bathroom fixtures or lights yet, but I want to show you how to actually start playing the chords, how to start incorporating that with the melody, and we're rooting it in listening to the song. My first tip today is simply to sit at the piano with your song, take a listen to it, and listen deeply. Don't just have it like you're in the background and you're just enjoying it, but our purpose of this step today is to actually deeply listen and to take notes as well. So tip 2 is take your chord chart. I just printed this one out here. We're talking about Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, and I just printed this out. I'll put the link in the description below, both to the version that we're going to listen to by the Pentatonics, as well as the chord chart. And as you're deeply listening, write down the notes, different things that you notice. So for instance, if there's a long introduction to the song, or there's a fun interlude in the middle where maybe an electric guitar is doing a solo, whatever it might be, just start mapping those out, and without even knowing it, you're going to actually start to memorize the song, which is pretty cool. The third tip, which I want to spend a little time showing you today, is how then to start building a framework of understanding with your own hands without going into a lot of depth or detail. I want to show you how this works. I'm just going to play a couple seconds of this for you, and we'll pretend that I've been listening to the song this whole time, and I just want to show you what it looks like to be playing, listening to it with my focus right now only on the bass notes. I'm not even worried about playing the melody yet, just the bass. So here we go. Now I know this might seem really basic, but just starting there does a couple things for you. It actually helps you to root into where you're going as far as the theory of the song, and in future videos I'll share more about music theory. But understanding what your bass notes are also helps you in knowing how to later voice your chords. So that's the first step. And then also it helps you to start rooting in your understanding of the rhythm and where your hands fit in playing what that rhythm is. Because there are some songs that are a little tricky when it comes to being able to play the groove. And so if you can mimic what that bass is playing, or sometimes it's a rhythm guitar section, that's a really great key in learning how to play along with what you hear, and make sure that you're able to keep up with the energy and to keep the arrangement really tight. After you've built your confidence up with playing the chord tones in your left hand, I want to now transition over to the melody that we learned in part 1. And the reason that I had you do that is because even as you were practicing the bass notes with listening to the music, you're already hearing the melody and maybe even singing it if you can. Some people prefer not to sing it, but they can sing it in their head. So that's up to you. Sometimes I hum, I kind of compromise. The second part I would recommend before piecing them together is then hitting play with your recording and playing only the melody. So let me show you what that looks like. This arrangement is just so lovely. there, now you're matching what you hear with also being able to play it on the piano, and you're even beginning to add maybe some expression to it without trying to add the color. And this is one of the main points that I want to make for part 2 today. You're not just reading chords and looking at music. You are being musical from the very beginning. And what that means is you're not just methodically or like a computer playing what you see written. You're feeling it and you're hearing it, and you're playing with the arrangement. You're becoming part of the arrangement. At this point, don't worry if you can't play the piece separate from the recording. The point is to get you starting to really plug into the bass and the melody. In future videos, we're going to actually talk about how to bridge the gap, if you will, and add more color, add more interest, and more deeply learn the piece. But for today, the most important part that I want you to take away is to be really confident with those bass notes, locking in with the groove, and also being able to play that melody that you learned in part 1. If you got value from this video today, would you give it a like and then subscribe so we can stay connected and I can continue to give you content that will help you play the songs that you love. Please add your questions down below. Share with me what the music is that you're wanting to play, what song you're learning, and I'll see you next time. That's not right. I meant the opposite. Well, oh, it smells so good. I'm food motivated, ladies and gentlemen. There's a pizza in the oven and it smells darn good.